So for knee cards, we're trying to get rotation happening at this lower leg independent of the kneecap. And we use kind of just some basic landmarks as far as the kneecap is going to represent the femur, the thigh bone, not rotating. So I don't want to see my kneecap moving all over the place as I get into the stretch. That's going to indicate that my hip is moving and not my knee, which is where I want the rotation to be happening for this stretch and as we work into the PAILs and rails to expand that space. So with about a little bit of a knee bend here, we're just going to come underneath with the one hand on the outside part of the thigh and come under and grab the outside part of our foot with our opposite arm, and then we just rest that inner hand on top of the forearm here. So this is going to be my position for stretch in internal rotation for the knee. And this is where we're probably going to be spending the most amount of time. It's where I see the most kind of deficits in knee space as far as what we need in order to be doing our daily activities of just running, walking, and standing with good position. And so we're just going to hold this for a couple of minutes, and we might start to feel some stuff along the outside part of the shin here, but really what we're looking for is to find actively where our internal rotation stops. So if you see the shin bone here, if I go further than this, all that's actually moving is my ankle joint. So when this pinky toe starts to drop towards the floor and that foot starts to go from flat to angled, that's the ankle moving and not the knee anymore. So we just want to actively rotate back and forth a few times, find where our internal rotation stops at the shin, which is representing the knee rotation, and then from there reach down, keeping that foot pulled up toward us to the outside part, and then we can just come across and relax. This inside arm is just kind of hanging out here. So I'm coming across and I'm actively pulling into some knee rotation, internal rotation. I'm going to hang out for a couple of minutes. Once you've done that, we're going to start our PAILs and rails. So we're going to start to push that pinky toe, this whole outside edge of the foot, that way as if we're externally rotating the knee. Okay, so I'm going to start to drive into that hand, not letting the foot or shin move. So we're isometrically contracting here, and I'm starting to feel all this stuff along the outside and the outside part of my hamstring fire up here. So I'm going to increase that, build to my greatest, safest effort, and I'm going to hold for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to let go and try and internally rotate and keep as much of that position that I was stretching into in place, holding, trying to squeeze, feeling the inside hamstring really working as that's helping to turn the knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to come back to my stretch and then just hang out here for another 30 seconds or so before I go into a second set of PAILs and rails. So this is how we're going to start to increase internal rotation for the knee. If we wanted to do external rotation, it would just be the opposite way that we would start with the stretch. I can come across with the outside here and then start to drive my big toe and this whole inside line of the ankle into internal rotation, coming across towards the midline while I block that with the hand and the arm, squeezing up to your greatest, safest effort, holding for 10 seconds here. 9, 8, 7, 6, and I want to try to feel all this inside hamstring stuff that's actively working to bring me into internal rotation. 3, 2, 1, as I reverse directions, now I'm pushing to the outside, trying to squeeze out as much external rotation as I can. Hold for 10 here. 9, 8, 7, 6, really driving that pinky toe towards the ground, feeling the outside hamstring, outside shin working. 3, 2, 1, and relax. So you've got a couple options there, one for internal rotation, which is what I see most of the time is what people need, and one for external rotation, which is a great way to just strengthen that outside range of knee rotation.